So it all really began back in the summer of 1999 when a young lad from our community who had been badly injured at a bonfire.
Now, it's been hell. That's how an elderly resident has described living in the Gallia area of Derry, where nightly disturbances have broken out.
Terrifying, really, really terrifying.
And I remember somebody saying to me one time, you know, why do you bother? Because if you make a difference to one of them.
So I took on the role of devising a community festival, and we could see squares, streets and full estates coming together with showing what we felt was a real community spirit for people in Gallia and Shanty. I looked down the Skeg Road and there was about 1,500 people gathered up.
But we didn't have any money, we had no funding or nothing like that then, you know, them kind of days. But it was the most amazing experience of community, of Gallia Park, of the Greater Chantal as well.
Sometimes it feels so good. Yeah, come on. It's Chico time.
First card, I've got a job, pays all our bills.
Tonight there's one issue and one issue only, which is the Binge Street.
Directly to those involved to see how this behaviour impacts our community and our city.
It's a done deal. You'll not get much sympathy around here.
Whatever you decide tonight, I'll go along with.
I'll be giving out some medication shortly, and I'll make sure that you get a fresh bed and some water.
Schütteln ihr Holz vor den Hütten, die Macker versuchen im Takt zu nicken. Hey,
The need to create a beating heart of a community, I think, can best be done by creating opportunities for that community to come together. Community arts has a key role to play. We're in a great facility now, but we're not there yet. During the course of that first couple of weeks and months, we had no premises, so we ended up getting offered a little room at the back, just in the loading bay of the Galia Co-op, a little room with a sink in it. So we put a desk in there and a filing cabinet, and that became the first festival office. And we had that for the first 2 years. It gave us a base to begin to grow out from. And from there, the housing executive offered us then, there had been an abandoned bungalow in Alcar. Our programme of activity just grew and expanded, and the parades just grew and people wanted to become part of it. We began as a community arts organisation, Devise Greater St Helier Community Arts. So we moved from Alcar in 2002, a house in Galia Park, number 65. So that for many years then became our base, and was where Greater St Helier Community Arts really began to flourish. And we took on a building that's known as the 4 Block. These were a number of old porta cabins that had come in, I think, in the 70s. And when I first went in the door, there was rotten floors and the grass was growing up through it. So we got it cut down, and we were glad of it. You know, it was having a space. And some of the plays, the productions and things that have come out of there are unbelievable. But it was never fit for purpose, you know. Unfortunately, we had mice, we had water, we had leaks, we had all kinds of issues with it. We always knew that in Galia Park, because it was a house and a housing estate, it wasn't really, and the 4 Block in itself didn't serve the purposes. So I just then got word of a unit out here in Skeg Industrial Estate. Slowly and gently, the process of trying to turn it from a storage space into working units. And within a couple of years, we had the unit next door as well. So we had 2 units together. So we knocked a hole in the wall and began to create what we hoped was going to be a fit for purpose space. Even at that time, we had plans for a major new art centre. So we created a dance studio. We wanted a theatre space, we wanted a recording studio, we wanted places where people could come and take part in summer schemes. We wanted a place where people could actually enjoy the arts in the heart of their own community. But it was very hard, and very hard to try and get the support for that. And I think with the help and the goodwill of so many people, that's where Studio 2 evolved from. So it was Unit 2 turned into Studio 2. We've taken old spaces and transformed them. And I think that transformation, whilst it's been slow and hard work, it has also been inspiring. Studio 2, I think in the last number of years, we began in 2015 with a small grant from, which was then the DSD, now for Department of Communities. And with that, and with the support of sponsorship and fundraising that we had done, we were able to begin the process of developing the first phase of the building, which saw us create a new entrance, a new downstairs space, a new cafe space and studio space. With the help of Northside Development Trust, we were able to finish the first phase. But we were left in with the big gap upstairs, the main hall that we now have. We weren't allowed to use. We run out of money. And that's when the Department of Education stepped in. And I think through the Founder Youth Capital Scheme, and as a registered youth club, gave us the resource then to be able to transform the room upstairs, to make it accessible, to put in new lifts, make sure it was up to the right sort of building control standards. And over the last couple of years then, we've been working to develop that. So we're just at a very happy phase now, I suppose, where despite the year that's been in it in terms of COVID, that we have got our centre in the state of readiness.
So what Greater St Helier Community Arts offers is a unique fusion between youth arts and youth work.
This place is just so amazing that it can take young people just up and up into the world of arts.
If we didn't have the arts, where would we be?
The studio, like having it all in the one building, makes them go on to other stuff, and then they just become so confident.
I'm confident in talking to people. I wouldn't have done that.
The arts are for everybody.
I came here at age 3, and since then I've been dancing.
My confidence has grown so much since I've come here.
Coming here and all, just meeting all your friends, and it's just, I just love it.
Being involved, mixing with other young people is really, really important.
The facilities just get better, but like the values and stuff never change. Like it's always going to be like for the community.
And what we also really take a strong focus on is their well-being and mental health.
That's what the group has done for me, and I love it.
More funding so we can get more fun more often.
I feel at home here in the centre of the arts.
I love coming in here and mixing with all the older and the younger ones.
I think it's so important for young people to get involved in arts.
Look at in here, look at the studio, you know, look at the things that can be done for art. Our youth are our future.
Come and take part in an arts activity. It makes you feel good.
We're sitting here in Skeg, which is the centre of Gallia, Shantala and all the new 15,000 houses is going to be going down the Skeg Road. So there's a population in this community of nearly 50,000, and our hope and aspiration has become at the heart of that community is have community arts and having an arts hub here that we hope to see grow and expand in the time ahead. So we're in these 2 units now. We have ambitions to take the whole site and turn that site into probably what is going to be the north of Ireland's biggest community arts facility, if not the whole of Ireland's. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, Greater St Auchthan Arts were delighted to welcome up to 1,500 people a week through the door. But we knew that wasn't enough. And in the time ahead, our aspiration is to double that number to offer even more opportunities for people from right across this community to engage in the arts.
Can I say, first of all, I want to really thank from the bottom of my heart and my department's heart all the hard work and effort that has been made by everyone in this room, and particularly within the youth sector and the community arts sector over the years. You know, it's been undoubtedly the case that you've succeeded not simply because you've given that devotion, but because you've offered a place which is safe, friendly and welcoming to those young people. Thank you for the 21 years that you've devoted so far. To be very welcoming to the present in terms of this magnificent facility today, but I think we can all say with hope for society as a whole, but particularly for Studio 2, that actually for the future the best is yet to come.
Well, even I came in, I was really shy for like the first 3 or 4 years that I was here. Like I could run my own class now or talk to anybody, but before I wouldn't have talked for years.